Baby, I'm talking no more abuse. No more abuse. DSPRT, you go roll over on top of your 3 out of 10 cows. Ow! No more abuse. No more abuse. We just over here doing our own thing, baby. We trying to get used to new ways of doing this streaming thing, baby. We don't need your abuse. We don't need your small penis ruining our dream. Yeah. Damn. Now let me tell you about it, baby. When you're doing these careers and you're trying to make sweet love, not hate, baby. Sweet love with your audience. And you have to face this kind of persecution, baby. It's hard. It's challenging, baby. It's challenging. Let me tell you, baby, every day, man, I wake up and I thank the sweet Lord for the opportunity to be here with all of you. So one more time, baby. No more abuse. No more abuse. These losers with they 3-letter names go roll on top of your fat caboose. No more abuse. Ow! No more abuse. So there's a message to all these effing boneheads screwing my career. I just had to testify, baby. I'm just gonna testify right now. Ooh, oh, sweet Lord, now. You know this has been my dream, baby. Ooh, getting on here doing this streaming thing. But let me tell you now. All my life, baby, I'm talking all my life, I've just wanted to entertain the sweet live audience. And baby, there was no father there for me to teach me the struggles of the streets. So I looked up to these dudes who did the dream that I wanted to achieve. So one day, baby, I got on my computer and I started to spread this word, started to build this brand. And then all of a sudden, baby, the numbers start to go up, and these old graying dogs start to get the penises up. Let me tell you now, they don't want this whole PWR thing. No, they don't want, baby, this PWR thing to gain traction, to build a real career, to bring the positivity, man, it only brings them fear. Oh, let me tell you, damn, just when you think you're building something, baby, and we're saying it loud, baby, no more abuse, no more abuse, no more abuse, no more abuse, baby, I'm talking no more abuse. No more abuse. DSPRT, you go roll over on top of your 3 out of 10 cows. Ow! No more abuse. No more abuse. We just over here doing our own thing, baby. We trying to get used to new ways of doing this streaming thing, baby. We don't need your abuse. We don't need your small penis ruining our dream. Yeah. Damn. Now let me tell you about it, baby. These careers and you're trying to make sweet love, not hate, baby. Sweet love with your audience. And you have to face this kind of persecution, baby. It's hard. It's challenging, baby. It's challenging. Let me tell you, baby, every day, man, I wake up and I thank the sweet Lord for the opportunity to be here with all of you. So one more time, baby. No more abuse, no more abuse. These losers with they 3-letter names go roll on top of your fat caboose. No more abuse. Ow! No more abuse. So there's a message to all these effing boneheads screwing my career. I just had to testify, baby. I'm just gonna testify right now. Ooh, oh, sweet Lord, now. You know this has been my dream, baby. Ooh, getting on here doing this streaming thing. But let me tell you now. All my life, baby, I'm talking all my life, I've just wanted to entertain the sweet live audience. And baby, there was no father there for me to teach me the struggles of the streets. So I looked up to these dudes who did the dream that I wanted to achieve. So one day, baby, I got on my computer and I started to spread this word, started to build this brand. And then all of a sudden, baby, the numbers start to go up. And these old praying dogs start to get the penises up. Let me tell you now, they don't want this whole... All right. Screw your effing parents. I'm back. And not only am I back, I'm not on effing medication tonight, baby. And we have another abuser, another degenerate, another piece of crap that, quite frankly, you know, I want to have a few words about here. So who do we got in the house tonight? We got formerly Chucks, Jim Zone, Marco Rosie Real. I can't pronounce that. QFFAFFAFFF, McBurger, Hams, Kwan. Yeah, we're going to talk about this guy. And you know he's watching. You know he's in his computer cock room doing his fill content. Watching, you piece of crap. Because I'm going to come forward, you know, as somebody who's been on this journey and faced a lot of persecution, a lot of abuse. And this is a man that I think needs to be, in my opinion, jailed. Like legally pushed forward. I'd like to see the prison sentence. You see the picture on the side here. I want to see him jailed. And we'll get into it. Because along with slamming him, I also want to talk about my journey. And this whole DSP industry as well. You know, before I, you know, decide to give my career, before I decide to really give my life for this career, there are a couple pieces of crap, you know, I want to talk about. We're already getting the super chat, baby. I haven't even started the content yet. You know, people are saying I'm clout chasing. Hardly. I just think he's a piece of crap, and I just want to talk at how much of a piece of garbage I really think he is. Couldn't give a rat's ass about the clout. Spent 1985 is super chatted 699 and says, Mom can't stop us from watching PWR elevate his career. Well, thank you. Now over in Canada it's absolutely freezing, so I got a sweater on. I got my 9 Inch Nails shirt on, and I'm ready to go. So here, I'm just gonna start off because I was in such a boiling effing seething rage to finally come forward and call this guy a piece of crap and talk about what I think he is, who I think he is, and why I think he needs to take a long trip on his sailboat and not come back. Now, before I really get into it, I'm just going to make sure I read some of your comments here. Somebody says 9 Inch nailed the legendary 3-letter product. It's time for all the detractors of the Filiverse to unite and flush the Doody. Well, that's kind of the thing. It's gonna be a challenging conversation, and I tried to put a lot of thought into what I wanted to say, because I think the first reaction people are gonna have is, oh, he's championing for Phil again, and that's not exactly what this is. You know, regardless of who is the person, you know, that pays his bills so his daughter can spread her legs at some college, you know, whoever that person is. I want to talk about it. And how, you know, this guy is not only like cultivating this culture of hatred, he's also cultivating a monopoly against the very industry and the very wholesome community, right, that he claims and wants to be involved with. And of course, he's hiding, cowarding. Now, as well, if anybody also wants to give their thoughts, I'm going to open up my line here for all of you. and we're going to get into it. So let's first, first thing I wanted to do is I want to go to the YouTube channel. I really wanted to look here. So let's get a glimpse into where this all began for this guy. He really is one of the more notable names, but a big reason of that is because of the clickbait, because of the clipping of the blood of somebody else. And let's see, we got 3 years ago was his first video. And of course, it's about DSP. It's about DSP. So I find it really fascinating. So at one point, this married man, who, claims to have a wife, a kid, a life, decided to get involved in this whole Phil thing. Now, one thing I will say when it comes to I don't know how to describe it, like the DSP, I guess it would be described as like the DSP detractor community. Like if you want to look at it from that angle. I think there's really 2 avenues to look at it. You either look at it the way of a fan, or you look at it as the way of a detractor. Now, what I will say, and a lot of people are going to be hot about me saying this, I know that, but I do think that community, from my interactions and my experience, dealing with it, being victimized by it at times as well, also by being celebrated by it. My take on it is it's a safe space. It's a hug box. I think it's really a way for people. And again, we're gonna try as hard as we can to take Dark Side Phil, the creator, out of the equation. And look at it as this guy was, making content off of any big name. Oh, like I said, I don't mind. If a 50-year-old man is going to get his penis up and get all frustrated and send his weirdos to my stream, just shows where his mind is at, that somebody can't come openly and, talk about why this guy is a piece of crap, in my opinion. But anyways, as I was saying, I really do see the DSP detractor community as a safe space, as a hug box, because, this guy, DSP Gaming is, and I think we all know this by now, he really is universally hated. I mean, if you really look at it, he does have fans. He does have a following, sure. But it's really gotten to the point where the haters are so much more outnumbering, the genuine people that give him support. Yet, if you want to call in, you can. I just got to keep track of what I'm talking about. So let's get you on here. Call back. I just had your call. We'll start it off with the call, because I've been thinking about this all effing day. So if you want to call, go ahead. I just missed it. So we'll fire you back up. Just don't leave me waiting too long. So anyway, since he wanted to called, and then hung up and won't call back, I'll keep my eye out for you, dude. But as I was saying, I really do think the DSP detractor community, it's a safe place. And okay, we got you now. Let's do this. Let's start it off hot with a call. How are you doing, dude? Thank you for joining in. What is going on?
The man, the myth, the legend. You're returning to your former glory and covering DSP content again?
I'm just talking about a couple pieces of crap that I want to have some words about, sure.
Yeah, it's my favorite content that you do, so I'm not hating on it. I love it when you do it.
Well, so thank you. I mean, dude, it's all about giving your life for this career. And, before I really decide to go any further, there's no way I can't put these, demons to rest here. I have to have my say.
I mean, you seem to enjoy streaming, so I would carry on, man. Screw the haters.
Of course I do, because I love this industry. And I love the viewers, and I love the fans, and I love to entertain, and I love to give my perspective. We've made some mistakes along the way.
Yeah, just take breaks, man. I think that's the key to it all. Don't burn yourself out and take breaks. So
you said you had some. You said you had a bombshell story here. Let's hear it.
I do. Have you ever heard the Doody Bowling Allen story
Yes, I
when
have.
he
In
went
fact, I
bowling?
was going to be speaking about that. Yeah, Doody got his penis
Okay.
up, and he's not enough of a man to confront. I think the story was, I guess, some like bizarre disabled man was like trying to talk to his daughter or something. And he went on about how he had a carried conceal. If you were a real man, you could have handled that business without that.
So let me tell the story because I was in the stream and I remember it. So
Sure, go ahead.
actually, Doody has a disabled kid,
Yes, we know that. He
and
made that
Du-
clear.
what Doody claimed was a man was looking at his disabled kid. So Doody, being the big, bad, tough man he
Yeah.
is, pulled out his gun,
Mm-hmm.
grabbed the man by the collar, shoved his gun in his face, and threatened to Minecraft them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
a couple of people looked into this story because they know where he lives, and I'm not going to dox nobody,
Right.
but no evidence was ever found of this. Now, you
Right.
think in a crowded bowling alley, somebody getting
Oh
a
yeah.
concealed shoved in their face, why wouldn't this have been reported to law enforcement?
Exactly.
Like
Especially in
it
a
didn't
place
make
like
any
that.
sense.
Especially in a place like that that's usually got like a wide range, kids, adults, parents. If this story was true, I do think somebody would have had their eyes on it. But again, this is the United States. Maybe it's just something people don't really bat an eye at. If it happens quietly in a corner somewhere, maybe people don't really think too much about it.
No,
But that is
no,
that is an incredible point
no,
to make. And like I said, I
no,
think it was
man.
just him getting his penis up.
Yeah, if anybody were to pull out something like that in a crowded place, no, even in America as accepting of those type of things as we are, that's 100% going to be reported to law enforcement
Yeah,
every time.
yeah.
Why does Duty always go after you? Because he did a stream like 2 weeks ago saying you had contacted him about doing some content, but he wasn't going to work with you because you're deranged. Do
Well, I
you
had
do
I
you know
had
about
issues
that?
because I wanted to confront him. I wanted to have a conversation. He didn't respond. And now I just said, like, let's do business. I have heat with him. And I want to confront him and I want to have a conversation. And I want to tell him how much of a
Do
piece
it
of crap I
live.
think he is. But
Do it live.
the truth is, I really called him out for some of the content that he made in regards to his language. And I called him out. I said, if you're gonna drop the N bombs, dude, show your face or stop it.
But everybody's calling him out. Even Kino Casino called him out like last week. They're like, dude, you clipping our content. You're not doing anything transformative, and we still on the air. And you posting clips of the stream that we currently doing.
Yes,
Like
we're already
everybody's
we
calling Duty
already
out
are
right
gonna
now.
get into that. We're gonna cover that.
Well, my bad. I'll let you go from here, but
Oh, thank you.
big fan.
Oh,
Look, times get tough, but keep your head in there, hold your head high, and keep doing what you love. Have a good one,
thank you.
PO.
Yes, we're putting an end to the abuse. Thank you. So there, he was bringing up some really poignant points. Freewoo, friend of the channel, calling in. We did get a super chat from Reefa781 with the $2 saying, testify, brothers. Yes. So anyway, back to my initial point, because it's I want to kind of really give perspective on this. I don't want to just come into this saying this guy's this, that, this. I want to really give my perspective. So as I was trying to bring up, I think that the DSP detractor community really provides a place for people to not only, make a potential income, because like I've said it before, there's so much money in Darksideville, and the only one who can't make it is him. And clearly, somewhere along the line, this guy got wind of Phil. And it's only been about 3 years. Some of these detractors that have been doing the Phil content that I've come across have been doing it for like 10 plus years. So he kind of got in there early. And I think, again, there's not a lot of pushback. There's not a lot of risk, I believe. There's not a lot of risk that people are going to push back on you, that people are going to call you out,
that people are going to, most people just equate Phil with the guy talking. Somebody's talking in caps here, so I better make sure I read this. Sofa Ninja said, yes, it was great. They gave Doody a lesson in proper content clipping. Keemstar tried to do the same thing, but Doody told Keem he knew better than him, was banned the same day. Well, thank God. You know, thank God somebody stepped up and tried to do something about this. Because I've actually had a few people contact me. I've had some stories, and maybe I'll read them. I, of course, won't give the names. But, like, I've had allegations of Doody streams threatening to dox people, having his fans threaten people. And, I mean, who is the guy? Like, we don't know who he is. You know, to us, he's a cartoon character. Like, to me, in this world, this industry, where we really do risk so much, we have Vangelis Grew celebrating 9 months. 9 months, baby. So he's been here since the beginning. I want to thank you so much. You know, exactly. You're kind of getting it here. If you look at my chat, which I have featured here, we're getting a lot of people coming in, you know, berating me. And, like, I don't mind that. I expected that. But, again, I think it just shows the mentality of somebody like a Doody Streams, who's supposed to be 50 years old, an adult, with a wife and family. And this is the type of culture. This is the type of behavior that he fosters here. And what really gets me is the fact, you know, it's hard to have this conversation because, again, whenever I talk Phil, or whenever I talk these detractors, it's kind of like I'm right in the middle. I'm not pro, and I'm not, like, now I can't stand the guy, but I always try to look at things objectively. And coming as a fan, it's kind of challenging to just come right out and slam people. So what I'm going to say is there are detractors in that community who do go on camera, that do content, that, you know, put themselves out there openly. And, dude, if I've learned one thing about this streaming thing, it is a risky industry. You know, we do put our lives on the line. You know, we close a lot of doors in our lives to be able to do this. So the idea of somebody like this, you know, thinking he has a platform, thinking he has something to say, based off cowardice, based off, you know, somebody else's blood, sweat, and tears. And I wanted to show an example. But of course I can't because he deleted the picture for whatever reason. And he deleted his comment in response to it. He posted a picture. Now I can only describe it. So this is basically allegedly. But when this whole thing with Phil and the Arc Raiders was going on, I guess a lot of people were trolling him. They were trying to jump into his game, and they were trying to screw him up or whatever. And, you know, who was sitting in his computer cock room on Arc Raiders, you know, bragging that he's waiting for Phil? You know, shouldn't you be, like, having dinner with your family? You know, I just think it's sick. I think it's sick. And 1 second. Yeah, he is a coward. He is. I think the thing is, you know, you can think that you have something to say. And you know what? I will give it to him. He gets decent numbers. You know, we're looking here at some of his streams, 3,000, 6,000, 7,000, you know, it kind of ranges. I mean, I'm not seeing, you know, 10, 20, 30, but he does have somewhat of an audience. But again, who is that audience for? Is it for Doody Streams, or are the penises up for Phil? You know, so to really come out and, you know, think that you have this voice, that you have something to say, you know, when people like myself really do give our bodies, you know, really put our lives on the line. I think it's sick. People are saying call ICE on. Hey, well, I'm not in America, baby. I'm not in America, so I can't. I don't think I'd be able to do that. But I think it gives you a sense of who this guy really is. The fact that he's hiding who he is, I think, says a lot. And I mean, that's your choice on the internet. Nobody's forcing you to go on camera. Nobody's like putting a gun to his head. Thank God. and forcing him to show himself, right? But I really think, as I mentioned, when you're doing this DSP stuff, you're really going to have a safety net. Like, I'm going to look at some of the comments here. You know, these are the Phil fans. And, you know, they're talking about, you know, Phil, casino. And then people are talking about Phil. I don't see one comment here, you know, saying, good on you, Doody. You know, you said something really powerful. You said something that, you know, entertained me. Yeah, I think it's crazy. Oh, 1 second here. Hold on. People are sending me stuff, but they're not linking it properly. 1 second. Well, yeah, exactly. There's a lot of, I took some time. I took about a week or two. I don't watch his content. No, I'm not subscribed. But I checked out some of his videos, and it is very lazily done. It is basically a catalyst between somebody that thinks they have something to say and Phil, who, you know, I can say whatever I think about the guy now, but I don't look at it, when it comes to Doody streams, I don't really look at it as Phil at this point. I just think of it as a content creator, like somebody who did put themselves out there. You know, is he the best guy in the world? Definitely not. But he did put himself out there. And these are the type of people that hide behind their profile picture and think that they have a platform, think that they have something to say. And they really don't. So, you know, to send his audience in here calling me gay and stuff like that, I mean, that's sad. No, I'm not a coward. I'm here. I'm literally right here. Yeah, he can say whatever he wants. But like I said, he's a subhuman to me. Like, honestly, he's literally just a picture to me, and he hides. And I'm not the only person that's sick and tired of it. I'm not the only person that's come forward and, you know, said that this guy is a piece of garbage, that this guy does clearly have issues. And I mean, look at this. Look at this. We're talking 2 hours ago. We're talking 8 hours ago, day ago. You know, multiple uploads, multiple clips. And a lot of it, again, is just clickbait for that DSP audience. I don't even know if I can call them detractors. I just basically, that DSP audience who I think, you know, will put anything down their throat with a spoon if it has his face, his picture, and some kind of clickbait title. So I don't really respect him as a content creator. And that is the thing, too. There are, as much as it pisses me off to say this, there are other DSP content creators that do put a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of heart into what they do. Let's take a look here. And I don't really want to give any of these people a shout out, but somebody mentioned somebody here. I'm trying to find what the name was. 1 second. But we'll look at the difference here. If I can find him here. 1 second. There's so many comments. You guys are hot tonight. You guys are hot tonight for this. Yeah, I know. The fact that you're on your effing cock computer talking about Phil. And here's the thing, too. I mean, like I say, yeah, you made the money to put your daughter in college or your son or whoever it was so they can, you know, put their legs up, you know, in college for Phil money. You know, any kind of man that would gloat about putting their kids into college off Phil money, in my opinion, is a complete degenerate and is not a real man. Is not a real man. 50 years old. And Jamie, sweet Jamie, has gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Jamie. Now, I think, what was it that they called him? Snort Burnell, I think. Snort Burnell. Now, I just think they're all, like, I have not much to say about any of them, the way I was, you know, basically treated in that career. Save the pig. But yeah, I mean, you know, here's another guy, and he's got around the same he's got around the same subscribers, right? So he's got 23. We'll go back and look at Doody. You know, he's got 31. But I mean, this guy here, who a lot of people in the chat seem to be championing for, really,
Save the
are championing for this guy. That's the reason I'm showing him here. And you know, look at the difference in the viewership. Look at the difference here. You know, 1,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Claims he's been snorting, which I assume means, you know, making the Phil content, having their penis up for Phil since 2008. So, you know, you can tell that this guy has put a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort into what he does. But then you have a guy like this coming around, no effort at all, just whatever he does. You know, he's got his hand down his pants, waits for a Phil upload, and, you know, clips it and just throws it on his effing channel. You know, I think it's despicable. You know, even some of the people who cover me, at least they do, like, have something to say. At least some of them do go on camera. At least they do add analysis on what the hell they're talking about. Only 31,000. Well, I mean, for 3 years of having his hand down his pants for Phil, I mean, that's reasonable. Now, we do have somebody. I'm getting a lot of names. I mean, I don't recognize, so I welcome you all. I'm sure you're here for Phil. I'm sure you're here for Doody, not PWR, but I am talking about how much of a piece of crap that this guy is, because nobody else has done it. PWR, the reason that Doody is the king detractor at the moment is because Phil notices him a lot, just like how Almighty Teven was king detractor before he got the third. Well, again, at least Almighty Teven does streaming. He goes on the effing camera, does a business, entertains people. And he does have a podcast. You know, he does. I've tried to listen to it a few times. And, you know, I will play his stuff. I will play his stuff right now. Because, you know, if he wants to threaten me with copyright claims or whatever he wants to do, you know, hopefully it'll give me your name. It'll give me your information. And I definitely won't do anything with that. But let's give him a listen. Let's see what he's got to say. Give him a moment to speak here.
Free speech, no racism.
And of course, give him a thumbs down.
Yeah. You could joke around. You could joke around about the racism. That's fine. I don't mind stereotype humor. That's all good. Just don't spam the N-word. Let's see.
So, like, he's telling people not to spam the N-word when he openly uses it himself, for God's sakes. And I called it out. I thought it was concerning. I thought it was disgusting. Yeah, it was really funny because when I first came out doing the streaming, people thought I was him, which is sad.
Anyway, it's the freaking internet. No. It's okay. It's not really about caring, bro. It's just about, I don't know. I feel like if I'm going to come on stream and I'm going to shit all over DSP and criticize them, I should be able to own up when I make a mistake. So I fucked up and I just want to own my mistake.
Yeah, you did mess up and you continue to mess up and you're going to continue to mess up. Because you're a degenerate human being. You're a subhuman. You're a dumpster diver, dude. So I can't believe he's trying to get on this moral pedestal of, oh, I messed up. It's not the first time. It's not the first time. People had issues with this guy. So clearly he has not learned his mistakes. And we're going to look at that bombshell confrontation. We are. We're going to look at the bombshell confrontation that was forwarded to me. We got another super chat from 32 Fret 66C. $10 saying Doody and RTU have elements alike. Hypocritical, disgusting, racist. RTU's enemies are mostly of an alternative skin color. Loser. Yes, thank you so much for making that clear. And I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm glad I'm not the only one that had issues with this. Now, another thing I do want to bring up. Now, I wish I could give the proof, because this is all just allegations. at this point, if I can find the proof, I'll gladly put it out there. If he has the proof, I would tell him to put it forward. But here's something that I do take issue with. You know, this has been an incredible career. It really has. It's been an absolute roller coaster ride. And, you know, for all the trouble it's probably gotten me into, for all the doors that might close in my future, I'm always going to be thankful. But the truth is, when I first came into this career, I wasn't in a good state of mind, dude. Like, I was just, you know, you can call me a crackhead all you want. First of all, I've never smoked crack. I was a coke sniffer, dude. So that isn't even the correct information. When I was, you know, coming out and, like, giving these threats to people, you know, I admitted, like, that was wrong. That was inappropriate. But to me, it was kind of like, I don't know, like a grandiose idealization of wanting to stand up for somebody. You know, I wasn't really in the right state of mind, right? I was just sort of out of rehab, off the drugs, by myself. And I just, you know, I was finding the comfort in Ville again. And there was a lot that was going on. I mean, with the smart guys, the Stuttering Craig interview. So as somebody who came up, you know, watching Phil, I just remember kind of something cracked, and I started giving out that behavior and talking about how I was to people. And, you know, I admit that was wrong. But because of the way that DSP community is, I think they couldn't help but be shocked. They couldn't help but look at it or pay attention to it or speak about it or whatever it was. And people always say, like, it was an act or whatever. I basically say it was just like, it was almost like a dopamine hit. It was pretty much like a dopamine hit. It was just like a drug. The more I pushed it, the further I went, the higher it got, right? It was kind of like that. So there was a lot of concern in the way I was talking. There was a lot of interest. There was a lot of intrigue. And who was the first person slipping in my messages trying to get an interview with me? It was Doody Streams. And I will be honest, I said something like, you know, I'll think about it. I almost did it. I almost did. And then kind of at the last minute, I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. So I ended up not doing it. And all he offered me, you know, for being this big successful YouTuber, all he offered me was to share my t-shirt link, which is hilarious. But at the same time, I think it really shows an irresponsibility that this guy who's coming out, you know, threatening people and talking like a lunatic. And, you know, we don't know if this guy is in the right state of mind, right? And he wanted to exploit that for content. So, you know, I think that shows a real irresponsibility on him and how far he's willing to go for content. And I'm really glad I didn't do it. I'm really glad I'm not in that place anymore. Because the truth is, it's tough, dude. And I think as much as this is trashing Doody Streams, it's also talking about my journey and talking about, you know, the ups and downs. Because I think one thing that people don't realize is, like, people do change. You know, I'm a real proponent for change in your life. Somebody says nobody who consumes that much Phil is in a good state of mind. I know, dude. Literally last night, dude. Last night, I mean, how long did I cover him? Maybe an hour? Maybe. And I had a giant headache. I had to take a shower, dude. Like, I was like, dude, I'm done with this guy. I can't do it. But I think there's a different perspective if you come in from it looking to make a monetary aspect, or you don't like the guy, than coming into it as a fan who kind of seen who this guy really is and then is looking at it from the other perspective. But to do these mental gymnastics and try to, like, manipulate your audience and sort of see them as cattle and lead them into your slop, lead them into your garbage.
I referred people.
And then think that, oh, I'm Doody Streams, I'm a voice, I'm like, what does he refer to himself as, like, on his stream or on his X? The professional detractor, lord of the realm. But the thing is, I mean, there's a lot of people in this community. That community, this ain't that community, dude. We're on and forward. We're, you know, numbers might be lower, dude, but in my opinion, we're on and forward from this trash, and that's why I'm talking about it. That's why I'm speaking about it. But you look at some stuff here, and you have some people with the issues here. You know, there's people talking about muting him, making allegations that he's a blankophile, I guess. I don't know where that's coming from. So there are people out there. And, you know, I would like to invite anybody that wants to come forward and wants to speak your thoughts to call in. But I really want to bring some kind of accountability to this guy. And it's fine if people just want to joke and roll their eyes and be like, oh, he's a drug addict. Oh, he's a loser. He doesn't know what he's talking. I know more of what I'm talking about than probably any of these dudes because I was a fan and I went through the abuse of putting myself on camera and doing this career. And you don't do that. You're a coward. And you don't have the balls to elevate your platform beyond having your penis up for Phil. And maybe he doesn't need to do that. But I've talked about this before. I have spoke about this before. And I've tried to be lenient, more lenient on people. You know, when it comes to their family, you know, because I've talked about, you know, could you imagine having a wife and you put your ass up for your husband who's in a cuck computer room clipping Phil all day? I mean, can't be too proud. But for being a married man, you know, there's a lot of allegations out there of what this guy's actually involved in, where his wealth status has come from. Yeah, we got this Junebug guy saying your whole platform was built on Phil. And, you know, maybe part of that is true, but a part of it is I'm done with that crap. I'm done with that crap. And I think that I offer a really interesting perspective than somebody that's just has their penis up for Phil. Mine isn't anymore. Mine isn't. And thank God. You know, I don't want to be stuck in this vortex of disgusting, degenerate behavior. And, you know, say whatever you want about me. There's all types of opinions out there. People think I'm the devil. I've seen comments, people saying I'm a demon, that I'm disgusting, that I'm a beggar. But then I have people saying that I'm entertaining, that I bring joy to their day, that I help them get through tough things. And I mean, so you're always going to have that decisiveness. So it's easy to pigeonhole me until you built your career off Phil. But, you know, now that I've realized what this guy really is and this whole community and how dangerous and disgusting and risky it is, I'm trying to move on and forward, because the truth is, as soon as I started realizing that people enjoyed what I did, I was like, there's no way I can keep playing into this crap or, you know, go on. Like, it would be more fake if I kept pushing the way I was going, because people were like, oh, he's fake. It was a character. People change, dude. People change. And, you know, it was challenging. It was challenging to deal with that initial kind of like everybody turning their back. You know, when I tried to dial things down and tried to just be myself, and then it's like, oh, he's boring. We're going back to our Phil content. Like that was tough. I'm not going to lie about that. But I love doing it so much that it didn't really bother me to have the lower viewership. I always seen this streaming avenue as an opportunity, you know, in a year. If the other product quit streaming tomorrow, PWR would still have a career and Doody would be homeless. Well, he might not be homeless. But he wouldn't have a lot to say. And the truth is, I just don't think that he would have the balls to, like, not talk about Phil, to not have his penis up for Phil. Like, what's he going to talk about? Like, aging Gen X politics? Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody wants that. They want Phil. And, you know, that's the sad thing, too. And I'm sure that that's got to eat at this guy, too. The fact that, you know, if he started trying to do his own content, you know, some people might stick around, sure. But I guarantee it would be a similar situation that what happened to me. As soon as I stopped talking about screw the detractors or whatever, that community was like, nah, we'll go back to watching Phil. And, you know, that's fine. I've tried to describe, I mean, I'm not bitter about it, but it was tough to go through that rejection, right? When you think you're really building something. But I'm proud of myself for staying true to who I am. And I mean, it was a rocky road, but like here I am, you know, better than I think I've been in a long time, doing what I love to do. And like I said, I sacrifice. So you know what? When I look at a guy like Doody streams, you know what I think? Stolen valor. You know, stolen valor for us who actually have given our blood, have made sacrifices, who've made mistakes, who've probably, you know, closed doors in our lives and, you know, probably not going to get asked, probably not even going to have a decent, educated girlfriend anymore. Like all kinds of doors we closed because we love this industry and we love giving ourselves to our audience. But this guy, all it is the penis up for Phil. The penis is up for Phil. So we'll play a little bit more of his garbage and see what he's got to say. I want to give him a chance and see if he actually has anything interesting to say.
That's it. Yeah, no N-word towers either. You'll get banned for that. And again, I don't give a shit if people post those words. It's just YouTube doesn't like it. All right.
So he's okay with using the N-word.
People kind of react, and no, it's ideas. It's all good, brother. It's all good. It's all good. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right, brother. I try not to shit on people or get upset when people criticize me.
So he shouldn't get upset about this video then, clearly, if that doesn't bother him. Like I said, dude, I don't even think if the guy has the life that he claims to have, he shouldn't even, like, know that this stream is going on. He should be, like, having a dinner out with his wife, watching Netflix with his kid. You know, instead, he's watching some nutcase go on about him. So it really goes to show you where his head is at and what kind of person this guy really is. Like I said, I think, and this is only speculation, you know, he can confirm this. I'd love for him to confirm, you know, the real situation. I think there's something going on. I think there's something going on in the personal life because there's just no way. There is no way. And, you know, I think monetary is a big part of it. I think this is a big part of it. But I mean, if you have a family and you're 50 years old, you know, I don't believe the guy is like, you know, most people 50 years old are, you know, reaching retirement, you know, sitting on the porch, going to baseball games, you know, and just the fact that this guy, 50 years old, you know, I'm 35, so I'm getting up there myself, so I don't really have much to say. But, you know, 50 years old. And this is where he's at. Phil, casino, Phil. And you know what? The truth is he does good numbers. In fact, let's look at some of his most popular. So where are we here? So you want to know something really funny? And this isn't exactly... I just think this is kind of funny, actually. So this is his most highest video he's ever done. And it was Kino Casino destroying DSP's most recent meltdown. And that was 9 months ago. Can you do most popular stream? And his most popular stream that he ever did was 33,000. So look at this. I mean, this isn't much to gloat about, but I still think it's pretty funny. So he might beat me in streams, but wait a minute. Oh my God. My highest video on garbage, nothingness, got a 50,000 view. And, you know, I've been on YouTube since 2018. You know, and I don't know, I just, maybe that's not exactly a feather in the cap, but I still think it's pretty funny to point that out. Okay, now I gotta admit to this one. So we got Junebug8228. What is bad with Doody getting his penis up for Phil? That's his own lifestyle. Yeah, exactly. You know, maybe you're right. I mean, it is 2026. And if the guy's got his penis up for Phil, you know, maybe that's not such a bad thing. But it's not so much his penis up for Phil. What really grinds my gears about it, I'm a monster, people are saying. A monster, they're calling me now. Well, fair enough. I've seen worse. I've seen worse. Calling me a monster is probably one of the lighter things that anybody has ever called me. So I will take it. But yeah, I know. I mean,
I
really.
referred people to the FBI.
When did he start? Can we see when he started? 2021. So actually, you know, that he's got a bit of a jump on my channel. And like I said, when I started, dude, I was streaming to like nobody at all, you know, until I started going through a manic episode. And like I said, when I started streaming, I didn't really even initially plan to start streaming. The only reason I did that initial stream on my career was because I didn't know how to do a video, but I knew how to press go live and just mouth off, you know. No, I'm not that big. He's got more subscribers than me for sure. But again, who are they really subscribing for? Are they subscribing for Phil? Are they subscribing because their penis is up for Phil? Or are they up for Doody streams? And you know, the truth is, I don't believe that the penises of the DSP fans are up for Doody. They're just not. And the live streams reflect that. Now, this is the thing too. You can pick at my streams all you want, and I mean, I'm gonna be open and honest. Let's look through them. You know, things have kind of really been up and down, you know, ever since, you know, that initial bump that I had. If you really go back down there, I mean, we were barely cracking 1,000, and you know, that's fine, because regardless of that, there's been a lot of passion. There's been a lot of, you know, time put in, and that, you know, it's just about putting in your hours, loving what you do. And I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think I mean, maybe when I was drunk I went on about it, maybe, so you can correct me. I don't think I ever went bitter about the viewership. You know, I was always like, you know what, that audience may have sort of turned around on me, but I'll always see this as an opportunity. As long as I have the ability to go live and do my thing and talk about things that mean something to me, that's like an opportunity. There's always going to be, you know, an opportunity to either do better or to just get better, get the bigger viewership. And that's not my main concern. The main concern for me is like, I genuinely do love doing this. I really do. It's a lot of fun, dude. If I didn't love doing this, I would have stopped like way before today. And, you know, that's the truth. But again, I mean, even if you look at some of my stuff, some of it isn't really showing up. And then you look at some of my earlier stuff, right? Like when I'm trying to find when I first really started coming forward, but, like, let's look at this one. I think this was that really peak moment where I got partnered and I did that Zelda stream and there was a lot of people. I even think Doody Streams, his penis was up and he was in there congratulating me for whatever reason. I don't know if I can find it, but
Goodbye.
It was a big moment. But again, when I look back at this, I'm not bitter. I'm just like, the penises were up for Phil. And if they weren't up for Phil, they were up for a story that revolved around Phil that also had to do with me. So, like, you know, I kind of take it as it is. And the truth is, when I look at the Doody streams, and I look at his career, and I look at his age as well, you know, this is a young man's game, baby. And, like, I'm not a young man. Like, I'm really walking on the razor's edge when it comes to getting involved in this career. I just don't think he has it in him. You know, I don't think he has it in him to branch out and do like Doody politics, Doody gaming. I really doubt it. Okay, now this is really interesting too. So this Soph Ninja guy, I don't know if he's a detractor, and if he is, I still really respect him for his insight. He says, you honestly were never going to keep that audience unless you just said Phil bad every day nonstop. Those people are clapping seals. That's all that's required, and you will get money. Exactly. And that's the hard thing, dude, because I know I talked a lot of crap when I was drinking, and I felt really bad about it. But the truth is, I've come to a point in my life where, regardless of what I think of those people, I really want to be grateful that those people did give me an audience and they did give me a platform. But that is true, dude. As soon as I stopped talking Phil, the penises were down, and they were back to watching him. They're back to watching Doody or whatever. I think when people call me fake or say I'm a character and that I was boring, I think it would have been more fake for me to play into that. I think I would have been a worse person in my heart. And God knows I've done some awful stuff on stream, to be honest. But I think I would have been a worse person. And I don't think I would have been happy just continuing to talk Phil. Because that's what they want. They want effing Phil. They do. They're hot for Phil. I'm not. I'm moving on, dude. Because like I said, I'm a proponent for change. When you're 50 years old and you're talking Phil, and it's cattle herding, dude, for this guy. It's cattle herding. That's all it is. It's smart cattle herding. But here's what I would say for anybody that does listen to this and get something out of it. Because it's not exactly just a trash duty. As much as I can't stand the guy, I also kind of want to give my perspective as somebody, involved, if I want to be or not, in this whole thing. Now, let me read some of your comments here. I'm going to make sure that I don't miss anybody because I'm hot. I'm just talking tonight. And the thing is, regardless, I also wanted to do some gaming tonight. And you know what? The truth is the penises are going to go down for that. And that's fine. I don't care. Because I want to do some gaming with the fans. What is he talking about? I'm flaccid. I've heard a little kinky role play before, but that's just ridiculous. You prefer me just playing the games? Well, I appreciate that. Exactly. Get to Keemstar talking about Doody already. Doody is poop. See, there are people in here that agree with me that I'm pretty limp for Phil, just like his wrists. Oh, yeah, dude, last night when we seen that whole position, damn, that was rough. But anyways, I kind of losing my train of thought. So let's look at that actually again, because I just love seeing this guy brought to his effing knees by a real dude who, I don't know too much about the Keemstar, but I know he's made a career in this industry. So I want one more time.
Remind everyone.
Yeah, hold on. This is
some pretty.
Yes. Right, there he is. Hold on a second.
This is awesome.
What's up, Keem?
What's going on?
Nothing, brother.
See, I just love how excited he sounds. He's like, oh man, oh yeah, I'm Doody Streams and Keemstar's calling in. And he just completely gets put in his place, dude. It's hot. You want to talk about privates being up, baby. I can't confirm or deny if mine are up right now.
You wanted to jump on. What's poppin'?
So, I'm seeing some pretty concerning stuff from you. I'm not gonna lie.
What's up?
Yeah, exactly. He is a clout chaser from one of the most disgusting, degenerate people on earth. And people are gonna call me a clout chaser. I don't think this is much clout chasing as just having an opportunity and having a platform to call these people pieces of garbage. I have a list of names. And brother, I'm rolling into town and I'm just this guy. And I'm having my chance to speak. I'm not going to make a career off doing videos of them, but I'm having a chance to talk about these people that I can't stand. And through my interactions and through my experience, being involved in this industry, I think it's my duty. If you want to put it like that, I think it's my duty to really speak on what I think of these people, because I don't think anybody else has the balls to do it. And I'm doing it because I've already given my life. No wife. You know, probably never going to have a government or, you know, college educated job for the rest of my life. So I've already made sacrifices. You know, what sacrifice has Doody made? Let's hear Keemstar destroy him here.
I went to go just do some yard work over at my campsite, and I want to see what this current drama was going on between Kino Casino, Phil, and you.
Yep.
And I start watching you talk, and you're saying stuff that's just like insanely concerning. First of all, you're calling yourself a content creator. Do you really think like clipping 30 minutes of someone else's content and uploading it is content creation?
Okay, I see what Keem is addressing here when I actually clip Keemstar's video for 30 minutes.
God, he's hard to listen to.
I don't know if
I
you
know
guys
a lot of
know
people
that.
say
And-
I'm hard to listen to, but I don't know. I don't know who has a worse voice, me or him. You know, some people are good for talking on the mic. I may not be one of them, but he is definitely not one of them. I will say that.
He was pretty upset with me, even after the fact that I chatted with him previously. And
Like those sharp highs, dude, right in my ears. Ooh, tough to listen to. Tough to listen to.
I got the okay to do it. Now, after that, we had a conversation, and he said, "Don't clip my stuff." And I said, "Okay, I'm going to do commentary."
You're welcome. Yes, for giving my life. You're welcome, dude. You're welcome. And that's the thing too. When I think about it, when I am on my deathbed and when I'm playing like my Darkseid 2 long play on loop, as I think of my greatest memories and I think about what I'm proud of. Like, I do think that compared to a degenerate piece of garbage like this, that I did provide a lot of laughs, like entertainment, you know, whatever you want to call it. I will be on my cold, dead grave saying that compared to pieces of crap like this, that I've provided a lot more positive passion for what I do than just having my penis up for Phil. Sorry. That's just how I see it. That may not be the truth, but that in my heart, that's how I feel.
Over your videos, and that's all I'm going to do. Which is what I did.
I don't.
So 1 second here. Somebody sent a really funny message. I won't read that because I guess it was like a private message. So, very funny. I did read your message and it was hilarious.
I don't agree with anything you just said.
You can look on my channel. Dude, no, hold on. No, hold on, Keem.
No.
Hold on.
Oh my God, dude.
Let
No,
me finish
no,
what I'm
let
saying.
me,
Excuse me.
Keem, let me
When
finish.
I
No,
say-
Oh, damn. Those sharp Moroccan highs in his voice, right? I don't know how he ever landed a wife. I think it's trust fund money. I think the only way any woman ever put their ass up for this guy was this. An easy life. Because I don't know many... hey, dude, like I said, I don't date. Nobody could probably tolerate me for more than 10, 20 minutes. I don't know how a woman would ever be putting her ass up for this degenerate sounding like that.
let
you
me
can clip
finish.
Locale Live. I'm
Yes.
referring to an actual clip.
Yes.
35 minutes of my content isn't a clip. That is not a clip. Clips are like 5 minutes or less. Most
Yes.
clips are like 1 minute long.
Okay.
all right?
Well, yeah, exactly. If he has 2 yachts, you know, why would he be concerned about a guy who's got like 120 views? Like, you know, he should be able to just laugh it off. But I guarantee he's probably sitting right now in his computer cuck room, seething or laughing. But regardless, I think he's watching when he should be, you know, maybe having a romantic out with his wife here Saturday night. I don't know what time it is where he is, but I mean, we're talking 6:30 here.
Deal with clips my entire fucking career, right? Well, not my entire career, but when I started Drama in 2012, right?
Yes.
We watch clips, we review clips, we react to clips. 35 minutes is not a fucking
1 second here. Okay, this is pretty cool. So this person did say that I could read their message. So here's what we got. Here's what the fans are saying. I just realized that you're streaming about Doody. I'm excited to watch. Big ups. Also about your voice. It's weird, I guess, but it's quirky and funny, especially with your cadence and humor. Doody just sounds like a bitch and he's going to cry all the time. Oh, wow. Shots fired. You know, hey, I'm not a one man on an island about this guy. And, you know, hopefully, you know, the lines are open. The lines are open. If somebody wants to call in, we'll keep your name separate because I'd love to have a conversation. I'd love to get perspective. I'd love to be a vessel for people to come out and give their perspective on this guy for what I think he really is, in my opinion, what I think he is. And that's the thing, too. You know, he can get all up on his soapbox and punch down on Phil. But I guarantee he's gonna be hot over this. He's gonna be, you know, maybe he's not gonna be crying or, you know, crushed, but he's gonna be pissed about this. I know he is. And whether it's just because he thinks it's stupid or whatever, he's gonna have his eyes on this stream, or he's gonna have people watching it. You know, he can dish it out, but can he take it? I don't know.
Clip. You are using the wrong term. No one online thinks that 35 minutes of someone else's content uninterrupted is considered a clip.
And Keem, what did I do? Can you tell the people what I did? What specifically did I do when you called me out on Twitter about that? I called you. But no. I didn't take anything down. Hold on a second.
This is hard to listen to. I got to turn this down a bit, guys. I'm sorry. This is tough to listen to. For any of you guys who are hot for his podcast, bro, I don't know how you do it.
Well, let's be consistent here. I called you to talk about what happened. And in that conversation, I said to you, dude, we talked about this. You gave me permission. If it's a problem, I understand that. I understand that it's too long. I said, cool, not a problem.
He must have took an extra dose of Adderall or something this day, because he's quite on the higher end of the spectrum.
I'll take it down, right? And we even talked about what's permissible. And you said keep your clips under 8 minutes. I said, okay, not a problem. I post another video that was around 8 or 9 minutes, and you're giving me shit again about that. You're saying, why am I still? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. We had that conversation.
I told you 8 minutes.
Okay. 5 minutes, 8 minutes, and I clipped it thinking we were cool.
Well, it's funny because it's like, what I take from this is like, I think that he thought he was going to get this big dub by like Keemstar being like, love what you do, man, like keep doing it. And then all of a sudden he's like in defense mode, like yelling and screaming like a child here. One minute here. All right, we got a message that somebody might take a couple shots and call in. So people need courage, you know. There are victims. There are people that are afraid. And like I say, baby, it's all about no more abuse. No more abuse. I want to be a voice for these people. I think I'm doing the right thing. Yeah, he does sound like he's on the verge here because nobody's confronted him. Because like I said, the DSP detractor community is essentially one of the safest hug boxes on the internet. Like even yes, actually, I do plan on playing a game later, and I know the penises are going to be down for that, but I'm going to do it anyway. But, you know, even somebody like this, what's his name? Cyrax dude. You know, people actually warned me, don't cover him, don't talk about him, because apparently, like, people will be right after you. You know, but with DSP, it's like as long as you're, like, punching down on him, nobody's really going to give you much pushback. And I'm trying to make this absolutely clear. I'm not defending Phil. I'm not targeting Doody for picking on Phil. If that's a misconception of why I'm doing this, I'm sorry to make it clear for you. It's just the fact that this is a guy that I've encountered. Okay, one second. I want to address this. Because we have Tyler Duell. Says, doesn't Doody donate to Phil? Now, that's interesting because when I announced that I was going to be doing this piece, a lot of people said that to me. I got messages saying, PWR, did you know that Doody donates to Phil? Did you know? And I was like, I don't. But if anybody has closer ties to that information, and then people say the same thing about me. I had the last time I donated to Phil was that time, and I deleted it. But I put up a short. I donated to him, and I said something like, "Oh, can you give tips and advice?" Again, when he said he didn't know who I was, he read my comment. I gave him like $5, maybe 10. I don't know. I don't remember. But I was like, asked him some question. Oh, can you give your insight on dealing with online abuse? And remember, I played like Simple Man over it or whatever. That was the last time, and that was like $5 or $10, dude. And then I was like, never again. We're getting a lot of information here. Hold on, guys. Okay, we got another. I got to make sure I can read these messages here. So thank you, guys. I won't read the names. Somebody says, keep that Canadian cadence going. You can read this on stream if you want, but Doody is a clout-chasing cry bully. He was run out of the Wings of Redemption trolling community for actually paying Wings of Redemption, which people are saying similar allegations here. And now he wants to support DSP for the same reason. He sucks, and he literally cries on people's streams because people don't like him enough. Okay, 1 second here. Somebody's, I don't know, he didn't, we got another message here. They say they love the stream. So there are people that think this guy's a piece of crap. I'm not just a nutcase here, like spouting crap. People don't like this guy. I don't like this guy. And again, I always try to separate, the guy, like I say, I know it probably sounds ridiculous, but, there's Doody streams, the cartoon character. The big, tough 6'4" Moroccan with the long hair, as you see in the picture here. But then, there's the guy who wakes up in the morning, looks himself in the mirror, and is like, I feel good about myself today, and like pours the coffee and goes about their business, right? I try my best to look at these people from that perspective. And I am absolutely trashing, what this guy is in my industry. Because this is my industry, baby. This ain't your industry. This is my industry. This is our industry. And you're just along for the ride. So let's see here. We got some more messages. Okay, this is interesting. But again, this is just... Oh, thank you guys for the kicks. I appreciate that. 10 kicks from Deuce and Vin, baby. I think he told me I wasn't saying that right, so hopefully I got it right this time. Thanks, guys, for the tips. Yeah, I'm rubbing my hands together for the Doody streams money. I'm clout chasing Doody for the money tonight, right? Not like I actually have something to say. Not like I actually think this guy's a piece of garbage that somebody needs to come forward and talk about. So we got another message here. Somebody says the DSP detractor named Hate. Some of this text is very small. Get my old man glasses on. DSP detractor named Hate Army Watch has direct information about Doody buying DoorDash for Phil and sending it to him. He got Phil's gate code by offering him DoorDash, and I love the stream. Well, thank you, dude. Thank you for that information. Again, we can't prove it, but the information is out there. They're in this industry. There is a lot of crap that just comes out of thin air, so we can't confirm or deny. But a lot of people are saying the same thing. Okay, somebody is saying that I guess there's speculation a lot of people are hot to get... A lot of people right now at this moment are hot to get in touch with me to give their take on Doody. So like I say, we're getting a lot of messages because, I don't know, people may be afraid to call in. Because again, when you're dealing with some of these people, I just don't think that their brains are like fully developed. I think they get in... The thing is about me... For everything I've been through and all the crap I talk, I never sent my audience after people. In fact, I do remember, and I don't want to call anybody out. I think there was instance where somebody was saying something like, "Oh, let's make a bunch of accounts and spam this guy's," and I was like, "No," no, baby, we aren't doing it like that. So the fact that I have this level of maturity that this guy doesn't. Or that Ethan Ralph or these other effing graying degenerates, these sad, pathetic animals that need to be brought back to the barn and sent to the Rainbow Bridge, don't have that insight. So we have Soph Ninja says, yes, this totally happened. Doody sent DoorDash to Phil when he took that 2-week vacation a few months ago. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that as well. Now, there was a lot of different takes on it. I tried to find information about it. People were trying to help me find information about it. They said that the initial tweet was deleted. But yes, I do remember that controversy. And that, I think that for Doody was the night, the day, whatever, the afternoon that the line was crossed. Because from what I remember, I guess there was all this speculation in regards to where Phil was. I guess he wasn't streaming, or he just kind of like disappeared without much explanation. And again, you know, all their penises were up. Where's Phil? Where's Phil? Where's Phil? So apparently, you know, the 50-year-old successful man, big YouTube name, The Professional, decided to like send this guy some kind of DoorDash so he could like get a picture of the DoorDash delivery and confirm if it was picked up or not, is the information that I received. Now, I'm not putting that information out there. I'm just taking it from bits and pieces. Like that's sick. Like that is sick. It really is. And again, I think it was just to get a shock, just to get eyes on him for doing something like that. But if you can't have like some kind of self-awareness, I mean, in my opinion, there are some pretty crazy people in these industries. You know, I've dealt with a lot. I was getting like legitimate death threats. I was getting a lot of crazy stuff sent my way. I was getting a lot of concerning stuff, but nothing on the level of that. And I think if you cross that line, you want to say you're a professional. You know, your mind isn't right. Your mind isn't right to cross the line like that. But again, people were defending it, saying, you know, well, what's really wrong with it? There was a couple people that said, you know, Phil's address is public, so what's really wrong with it? So, I mean, argue what you will. In my opinion, I think it comes across as desperate. I think it comes across as like, you know, oh, the guy's missing and I'm desperate for content, so I'm gonna do like some scheme to get eyes on me. Thoughts on sexual tension from Phil towards LTG? He really looks at him like a high school girl. I don't know. I had an opinion on that, and every time I go to say it, I hold myself back because it's a little bit of a low blow on what I think that relationship is all about. So I don't know if I want to say it or not because it's incredibly tasteless. So you're really going to have to pry that one out of me if you really want to know what I think about that whole situation. But 1 second here. We're getting a lot of messages. 1 second. Sorry if I'm stopping. I'm just making sure. I'm making sure that when people send these messages that if you want me to read it on the air, please indicate that. Otherwise, I won't, because I'm just reading a lot of messages here, and people are basically saying, they're not saying it's okay to read this on the air, so I'm just scanning through for, yeah, like, dude, I'm like scrolling my mouse. I'm getting like a bunch of messages here about people sending in about him. I'm just reading. Thank you, Frank Booth, baby, with the 666, baby. I came from the JFS world, so one DoorDash doesn't seem that bad. I mean, yeah, you can argue it's not really that bad, but I mean, with how desperate the guy is seemingly for Phil content, I think it's concerning. I think if just some random detractor did it, it wouldn't be like as big of a deal. But since this guy is like essentially like buttering his bread or supplementing his income or whatever it is with Phil, and the fact that Phil, you know, was gone, and there was all this speculation, and now, oh, here comes Doody, the big hero, sending DoorDash to his door to get confirmation. I was like, that's dirty business, baby. Like, pretty much. I mean, there's no right or wrong, but immature, dirty business, baby, I think. That's what I would say. Dirty, immature business. Not something that a 50-year-old man should have in his head to do. Fans are sweltering for the Doody face leak. Yeah, like I said, that's another thing too, man. There are people out there that don't like this guy. There was people out there that didn't like me. And it was funny because I remember I only showed my face one time, because a lot of people might not know this. If Doody dashed you Burger King, how would you feel about it? Dude, I don't know. I might let that one slip. I don't know. But a lot of people don't know, but I started the whole PWR thing, baby, in 2018. And basically it was like just wrestling, you know. And I was kind of making a bit of a splash with some of my videos and stuff. And you know, somebody wanted me to go on their podcast or whatever. And, you know, I went on video for the first time, because at that point, nobody's seen what I look like anyway. So I was like, you know what? This guy's being really kind for me, to me, wants me to be on his show. So I was like, I'll do him a solid by actually going on the camera and showing myself, because I thought it might bring more interest for his stream. Because that's the kind of guy I am, baby. I'm a self-sacrificing person. But that's how, I think it was RTU, I think. You know, it doesn't surprise me that was RTU. But I think he was the one that cracked it. And, dude, you know what the truth was? I knew that video was out there. I knew it was out there. So I wasn't too shocked when I got well, I wouldn't say exposed, but when they found me or whatever, I wasn't, like, too shocked. I was like, it's going to come eventually. And, you know, I was like, I just got to kind of wait. And somebody found it. And the truth is, dude, I just pushed forward. I was like, yeah, here I am. I guarantee, man, I would bet anybody $100 that if this guy's picture dropped, if it pictures of his family dropped or whatever, he'd be like out of there. What do you guys think? Let's hear it. If Doody Streams actually did get found out, exposed, Facebook, whatever, and he had like pictures of his family and stuff, do you guys think he would continue to make content or not? Let me see it in the chat. We'll talk about it. Didn't Phil have to get an anvil? He would. Let's take Doody money right now. He's a clown. If he's making $5,000 a month, basically doing nothing, he wouldn't stop. Sure. We're getting a lot of kicks, guys. Thank you so much. I just don't want to break it up. So if you do want me to read it out, add a message and I'll make sure I read it. Or send me a message if you're donating these donations. Just make sure that if you want me to shout you out or something so I don't break my line of communication. Yeah, that's fair. People are saying, to be fair, he did still produce videos even when he was demonetized, yeah. But I mean, that's a whole different thing than actually people finding who you really are, dude. And there was allegations that his output, you know, stopped. I'm sure getting demonetized for the guy was challenging, you know, as it would be for anybody, right? Tell YouTube they need to support or get out. Kick can't carry that. Well, you know, if people want to support, feel free. But that's not what this is about. This is just a platform to talk about this guy, talk about how I think he's a piece of crap, and how somebody needs to come forward and talk about it openly. Like, I've already lost, like, everything I've ever had, my future, my privacy, probably any career aspects going forward. Like I said, brother, when you're in this career, dude, you have to basically have the cyanide capsule on the ready when they come looking for you, dude. And that's where I'm at. And I'm just like, I got a list of names that I am just going to fully talk about. I'm not going to necessarily, like, claim that I'm, like, exposing anybody or I don't have any, like, bombshell information to drop. But I'm just going to hit the mic, baby, and talk about what I think. My opinions. Doody was in shambles when he got demonetized. Thank you for your service, PWR. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. We're almost 1 year in the trenches here. So I'm glad to have you guys here with me. This will make or break the career. I don't care if it does either, dude. This isn't about making a career. This video is just about me pissed off. Had enough. Sick of this guy thinking he's like this big platform, this big name, when all I see is a sad, cowardly, pathetic old man. with his penis up for Phil. You know, some men, when they start getting into the 50s, they need the Cialis, they need the Viagra. This guy needs Phil. And it's as simple as that. Not worth the gas money. That's funny. So anyway, I'm going to check. I'm going to leave it open. I said I'd probably do this about 2 hours. Because if I do talk about these people, I'm just going to go, I'm not going to completely just try to stretch it out. I'm going to be like, okay, I think I've had my say. I've allowed people to have their say. And then we're going to cut it. And then I will be game streaming. So I'm going to be doing 2 streams tonight. So right now, just while I catch my breath here. Oh, yeah, we know. You know, and it's hard. You know, as a Canadian, you really, it's hard for me to give my perspective. But yes, he is very clearly like right wing. A lot of talk about ICE, a lot of talk about politics, you know, talking about people that he hates in regards to political opinion, a lot of controversial topics sprinkled in with the Phil content as well, claiming for people to be arrested. So maybe we're not so different. We both want people arrested. I want him arrested. He wants Jasmine Crockett arrested. This is disgusting. It's like, that's like saying the best way to not get RAP $ is to not be attractive. I don't know. Some of his, I just think his head gets too big and he thinks, oh, I'm the political mind. It's like, put the Phil content in the bag, dude. You know, put the Phil content in the bag and stay in your lane. So anyway, we'll cut it short here for me talking for now until I, you know, get fired up to start shooting again. And we will take a look at this video because last night, dude, I had a freaking headache from even listening to Phil. Tonight I'm feeling much better. So I couldn't really make it through this. I mean, listening to Phil and then listening to effing PP and Ashton, or PP and Andy, was pretty tough. So let's listen to it now. Well, there are victims. They're just sending messages though. They're not calling in. I'm leaving that platform. I guess so. Like I said, I had allegations that people like were saying that him and his community were like threatening people. Which is sad. A 50-year-old man with his penis up for DSP threatening people. Like, I don't know. It's kind of sad. Anyway, hold on. We'll play this bombshell clip.
Goes if things
like, wait till we're fucking done. Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Doody, like
Doody's...
that's actually gonna I'm a chill dude or whatever, but like, dude, it's gonna be an issue while we're still live. It's one thing you do that to Phil and you do that to fuck him over, but that's kind of obscene, bro.
Yeah, it's
like,
retarded,
you know,
bro.
Like, there's no edit. There's nothing transformative. You're literally just fucking ripping our shit and uploading it, you know, while we're still live.
Like, wake up,
like,
bro.
Finally, like, somebody called him out for being a piece of crap, man. It's just unfortunate it was in regards to their content. And not just what he does day to day.
Oh, like, come on.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, it's whatever. It's whatever, bro. But
like, wait till we're fucking
dude,
off the air.
Well, that's the thing. There's just like a desperation to it, to be honest. Like, if you are a guy who's got money in the bank, you know, a somewhat successful life, with marriage or whatever, but you're like rushing to get first dibs on the Phil content. Like, I don't know. There's something off about that. To me, there's something off about that. I find.
At least before you fucking rip our shit.
Whatever. What can you do? What can you do?
Magma did another $5.
Chat fucking hates Doody. Do we just flush him live?
Honest.
Oh, 1 second. We did get a call here. I'll answer that. Hello? Are you on the line with us tonight? I don't hear you, dude.
Oh, hello?
Hello, how are you, dude? Welcome. Are you a victim coming forward tonight?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we're going to give you a platform to speak. I will shut my mouth, and I will allow you to tell your story here.
Well, he used to go by Call of Duty before he started the Doody streams thing, and I did play Call of Duty with him once, and I had to carry him. He's a fake gamer, and I'm a victim of some losses here.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Well, then he's on his cuck computer loading up Arc Raiders to ambush Phil, apparently, according to his X posts.
Well, I don't think he's ever going to catch him. He's kind of bad at games, so I'm just going to say.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it was funny to me because maybe it was just a silly picture, like, oh, I'm playing Arc Raiders, I'm just going to go. But can you imagine a 50-year-old married man sitting at his computer for like even like 2 hours or 3 hours, even an hour, and waiting for Phil?
It's a loveless marriage he's in, you know? It's quite obvious. It's
I would like
Phil's
to believe
situation.
that.
That's why
I
he
would
can
like to
stream
believe
6
that.
days a week.
Yeah. I think that's like more than I stream, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, it's a little out of there. You know, he stays up all night clipping Kino Casino too, and they just called him out. You know, Keemstar did the same thing to Doody, where they said like, you just clip it right when it happens and upload it right away. Before the original channel
that's exactly the point I was I'm sorry, I'm hot tonight, so I am sorry for interrupting you, but you make a great point.
Speak your truth.
Sherman, baby, testify. That's what I'm doing in the Church of PWR tonight. No, that's exactly what I just said, dude. If you're a married man, you know, instead of laying in bed with your wife watching, you know, Love on the Spectrum, whatever, you're like hot on your phone or hot on your cock computer for film content to get first dibs. Like there's a lot, there's a serious lack of character there in my perspective. Like serious lack of character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there needs to be like a level of respect, even for like other creators which cover Phil, and he just doesn't have that respect. He's just out there trying to get the money currently. He's on that grind. Not in a respectful way. He's gonna step on a lot of toes again, and he's gonna lose his monetization like he did before.
Yeah, let's hope he does. Hope to the Lord that he does. Let's hope he ends up on that other place where Mr. Ralph currently resides.
Oh, Rumble? Yeah, that would be funny. Nobody's going to Rumble to watch Doody. I'll just say that. And yeah, I'm going to head out, but I hope you have a good night, PW.
All right, peace out, dude. Thank you for calling in. Cool. So that was a fan calling in, says he's a victim of Doody being a fake gamer. Here we go.
Do we just go through and just claim every single one just live like right now?
I mean, like,
and I'm not exactly showing this because I'm like championing for casino. When it comes to casino, I'm very much like on the fence about the whole thing, but I gotta admit I am hot that they finally like stood up. And it's hard to tell, you know, it's hard to tell if Doody, I think he probably would have just had the penis up. Oh, they're talking about me. Dude, they did like, I don't even know, for God's sakes, like 10 videos on me or segments or whatever the hell they were, because I didn't watch them. And here's his big moment. And, you know, instead of celebrating him or, you know, showing his content, it's like they're literally just trashing him for being a dumpster diver.
Seriously, Doody, this is the thing. Like, I don't mind the promotion and stuff like that.
No, you could post our stuff,
and I don't mind him but it's like we're still live.
You know, I open my YouTube page and it's just our video.
Kind of insane. It just gets kind of insane, bro. At a certain point, like you're not adding any commentary at all. You know, you're just taking like a segment, just ripping it while we're still live and uploading it.
And I mean, people know their hours. I don't watch the show, but they're on at what, like 8 till like 2 in the morning? You know, if you're 50 years old, dude, and you're up from like 8 to 2 in the morning to get your, you know, dick up for Phil, like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, I know there's a lot of money involved, but I mean, it's like I said, it's a serious lack of character here.
And then we're the bad guys if we say anything, right? Then it's like, you guys are the pieces of shit. You're stifling him. You're crushing him. I don't know.
But here's the thing: is like, I don't care if you clip our stuff and post it, obviously. But we're live, and you're gonna turn this fucking segment into 19 videos and post it before we have a chance to even look at it through the editor.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
all right, well, thanks, bud.
So somebody says the Phil segments are always towards the end too, very late in the morning.
Obviously a disrespect, because he does it to Phil to disrespect him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Be like, fuck you, I'm profiting off of you, and you can't do anything about it. We could do something about it, you know? Like, we can go and fucking claim every single one of them, dude. And we'll win.
I love expanding, Dong. Look, if again,
I don't think they're even like on YouTube. This isn't only time that Casino stood up for themselves. It's just most notable. They tried to be nice and low key. Felt him before about things. Oh, okay, so it wasn't his big first mention. When I have blank with my wife, I think about the Ban Chan Bites YouTube videos. It's the only thing that can get me off. Oh, good lord. The modern sexuality, bro, of 2026 is absolutely in shambles. After the fallout with Phil, Doody tried to become friends with the Casino, talking in the chat and sending them DMs, and they just gave him the Phil treatment and ignored him. That doesn't surprise me, bro. He's clearly, and if that's the case, he's a tryhard. I didn't even care. I just didn't watch. Let's look. I'm not gonna watch them. But I mean, good lord. I mean, I was like starting to get pissed off about it. Let's see.
Cool. And Pescator's in the chat.
Oh, another butt boy. Pescator's here to talk, to stand up for me. Oh, balls crap. Oh, one second. I mean, good God. I was just like, I'm not going to pay. Oh, they made 12. I think 12 segments on me. And I was just like, oh my God, like, when is this going to stop? Like, I didn't really care.
If I see our videos on people, I like it.
Personally, I only care when Doody's doing it,
Yeah,
to be
same.
honest.
Cool.
I don't care about anyone else. It's just kind of unhinged.
Well, exactly. And that's the thing, because they're about the business. Those Casino fellas. I'm not going to call them boys. I'm going to call them those fellas. They know that this guy's a dumpster diver, dude. They know that this guy is a bottom of the barrel garbage bin scraper, and they're hot about it.
It's just kind of unhinged what Doody is doing, to be honest.
It is.
At least add commentary. Hey guys,
a married man at 50 years old, up at 2 and 3 in the morning, clipping Kino Casino and instantly uploading it for first dibs on the Phil money. If that's like not, you know, call me crazy for blading for Shawn Michaels and all that crap, bro. But that was in the past. You know what I mean? This is like a consistent pattern of behavior here that clearly this guy hasn't taken a look in the mirror. I do hope that this gives him a chance to look in the mirror and say, you know, I'm an effing idiot. I'm a loser. I'm an idiot, and I got to do better than that. Yeah, could you imagine wife laying in the bed with the ass up? And your husband in the other room. Oh no, I'm watching Casino. They're about to do the Phil like, come on, dude.
Casino. They're going to talk about
He's sitting here right now, though.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, are we going to get a percentage? Are you going to pay us? I want a percentage, Doody.
Oh, no.
I actually want. No. I want 30%.
That would be hot. If PP's hot, you know. Apparently, PP is about the money. You know, that's just what I've heard. Apparently, PP is a very business guy. He wants the money. God, I would be hot if PP actually did like demand the money from Doody. That would be cool. Because, I mean, they had, like, again, yeah, exactly. We talked about it. I mean, this is bullcrap, I think. Somebody pointed this out. That one of his most popular videos, I don't know if I can find it. It might not be. Yeah, apparently one of my videos, well, not my video, but one of Kino's videos on me is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, you know, it's below the top 10, but it's up there. It's one of his biggest attractions. Maybe I want a piece too. No, skin, but that's pretty funny. But that's when there was a lot of interest and a lot of eyes. Oh yeah, of course he's lurking, dude. Of course, he's got nothing. What do you think that he's got going on in a Saturday night? Putting on a nice suit and going out with his wife, and getting a nice wine, and getting home and lifting her up and running up the stairs and taking her to the bedroom. No, it's watching a guy with like 120 viewers, calling him a piece of crap. I think there's a lot, in my opinion, if he is married. We don't even know if he's actually married. We don't even know if he's like a real human being. In my opinion, he's like a subhuman. He's a cartoon. But I do really believe that if this guy is genuinely married, there is probably a lot of DMing back and forth behind his back when he's in the Phil Cuck room. Like, guaranteed. You know what women are like in this modern era, dude. They ain't gonna tolerate no effing Phil Cuck content crap. Oh, we got Goldie FX with the super chat, $5. Okay, this is slimy behavior from Doody. Ripping the casino's content is a bad mood. F Doody.
We claim it. You can keep it on your channel, but our clip channel makes all the money off your videos of us.
That's it.
That's what we're gonna have to fucking do.
And
We're gonna keep doing this.
Can do it. Everyone else can do it.
Yeah.
But you, that's crazy. It might be.
See, exactly. They're about the business, and they've had enough because they know that this guy is nothing but a clip farmer, dude.
It might be time to flush the Doody.
Right?
That's crazy.
Fuck.
We got Frank Booth.
They're hot.
Yaps.
Let's go.
I don't actually, I don't watch Casino, but I never seen PP. Usually when I have seen him, he's very jovial. He's laughing and this is like, getting a talking to from PP here. And I gotta admit, I'm kind of hot for it. I'm not familiar with the bad content from the casino about you, PWR, I'm here now. Well, that's the thing. I don't know. I'm sure they were like, oh, he's a piece of crap. I think I might be one of the only people that they kind of just were like, nah, okay, we're done with him and we'll just leave it at that. Like, so I feel bad, dude, because I don't ever want to like seem like I'm a cuck for the casino. But they were incredibly kid gloves on me. Honestly, they were. And, like I said, I haven't watched many of their videos. I remember at first, people were messaging me like, oh, you better watch out. You better be careful. The casino is going to like make a video. And I watched the first one they did. And then after that, I was just like, I really don't give a crap. Like I was just like, they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. And ever since that, I didn't pay attention to it. But it's hard because regardless, dude, I will always be like, hey, thanks, whatever. Yeah, that gamer Stevie, that's somebody I kind of do want to talk about because I want to take a minute to like give this guy a talking to and be like, you don't want to do this. Like I think, in the DSP detractor community, like there should be like gatekeepers that if they realize that there are people like acting out of sort that should step in and be like, listen, like you don't want to get involved in this. I'm going to tell you one time, I'm not going to stop you, clearly, but you don't want, give this some thought before you really get involved in this. I would love to speak to a young fella, and say, you got to really think about what you're getting into here.
That lazy, low effort clipping RTU loving turd Doody live.
Yeah.
Suffer Doody.
Like I'm not trying. Like it's just fucking too much.
I don't know. It's like I just don't know what to do. Like, because if you say something right, then you're the douchebag.
Yeah.
If you say something right.
Well, the thing is too. Like, I had so many people in my head about this casino thing too. Like I said, I was literally getting people messaging me saying, "Oh, they're planning on like getting you drunk and like RAPing you and filming you and like seriously." And I didn't know who they were. I wasn't like people got to get this straight. Like I wasn't like a starstruck fan that was like, oh my God, I can't, like Doody, starstruck fan getting his 15 minutes here. I was like, I don't know who these guys are. All I know is that I was pissed off at PP for doing the smart guys and turning it into detractor content. Other than that, I didn't know. But dude, I wish, dude, if there's any way I can get into my original X account at some point. I don't know if I can. Here, I'm gonna hold. Let me see if I can. I don't know if I can, so don't get excited. Like, I might even have some on my Discord too. Let's see. Because I don't want to mess up that. But someday, if I can find them, dude, I will show them. Because they were absolutely insane, some of them that people were saying. Like, I'm talking paragraphs. This is why you shouldn't do this. You don't want to do this. And then people are like, this is what'll happen if you do this. This is what could happen if you do this. It was hard. Free the original PWR account, Elon. I wish. Anyway, we'll continue on.
I just don't know. It's just kind of disrespectful. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, wait a couple days, clip it,
and see, that's the issue here. I'm not championing I can't talk. Championing for Phil. I'm championing for the disrespect to the content creators and the people that really do real business, baby.
And edit it in a way.
It couldn't even be the same fucking day. Like, but we're still live.
Well, you know what I'm gonna start doing?
Yes,
I'm gonna start putting like copyright videos on our in the middle of our segments to make you have to edit and like put rolling.
Yeah, like, 1 second here. Oh, we are getting a call here. I'll tell him to call back. Thank you guys for sending those kicks. I appreciate the support. It's not necessarily. This is justice tonight. Okay, go ahead. We got somebody who's hot to call in. He wants to flush the Doody. Let's hear what he's got to say. Hello, brother. You know, I want victims to come forward. I'm not going to say your name. I'm not going to say.
Amazing work today, brother.
What is up, dude?
We need to flush this Doody guy.
What's your story? What do you got to say here?
Right. So I'm a bit of an old dude, you know. I like to watch the guy. I like to enjoy my guy time. And I used to go through and search for the guy and try and find the videos of him.
Yeah.
And every day it would be 3 hours Doody streams, 7 hours Doody streams, because I'm searching from the most recent. I want the most up-to-date information on this guy.
Yeah, and I'm guessing when you say that, you want like the raw footage.
I just want to see some entertaining stuff. And
Gotcha.
It's just this guy's 10-minute video, 15-minute video. Phil farted, and it's like 8 minutes of that. He's just doing some other stuff. You know what? I remember when this Doody guy, when he lost his monetization, and he was crying about it. You know what I was thinking?
What?
Thank Lord, I ain't gonna see this guy's videos for a little while. You know, we get a break from this guy. You know what I mean?
That's a bombshell. That's a bombshell statement. That's a bombshell statement.
I'll tell you one thing, PWR.
Sure.
Like I said, I'm an old guy. I remember, you might have heard of a channel, That Being Said.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that
called,
channel over there, of course.
And he called into that channel, and I don't think any of them liked this dude. And I remember people like Meerkat Mob, Steve of the Dead. Meerkat was just like, you're flooding the algorithm.
Yeah.
You ain't got any space to breathe. You know, we got careers too.
Yeah, like
Why
I said,
do you
it's
have
an
to choke us
industry.
all out
It's
here?
an industry surrounding that guy, and I think for what I think about it, there are people that put more effort into it and try to bring genuine entertainment around it compared to what this guy does. But he still thinks he has it in his head that he's like an entertaining guy with something to say.
Because this ain't a career for him. He's just spreading across the algorithm. He's like a cancer man. He's not. This isn't a career.
I agree.
This isn't content. You're clipping. You're throwing 6 videos a day. I can't understand how you can live in that headspace for so long, making that many videos. Every day you're thinking about the guy. What's he doing? Did he fart? Did he talk to the Kino Casino? What are we doing?
Well, here, let me ask
Tell
you
me
now.
when something happened.
You say you're an older fellow. Now, you don't have to answer this if you don't want. I'm not going to say your name, but are you a married fella?
I'm not a married fella, PW.
Okay, you're not a married fella. Well, that's what I was going to bring up. What would your wife do if you were spending 8 o'clock to 2 in the morning watching Phil in your computer cock room, clipping Phil all night? I mean,
Well, I think that's part of the reason I haven't got a wife, because I watch the guy so much.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You know, but I couldn't see myself doing it that long. He must be those pennies. Like, you know, he does his intro videos.
Yeah.
And he's got the, I need that money. I really, really do.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, you do, Doody. You clearly need this money. You're making all these videos.
Well, yeah, like I said, I mean, whatever's going on in the guy's personal life is his business, but for all the stuff he's talked about being affluent and having the yacht and the house and the fam, I'm just like, I don't know, something doesn't add up with the level of.
I bet you never see his face, but you don't know anything about him. But apparently, I hear he's 6'8" and he's built like a brick.
Got the long Moroccan flowing hair and.
Yeah, get out of here, man! Come on, I don't care. I don't even care. Like, why are you bragging about that? Why are you telling people that you're pointing guns at them? You're
Exactly. Nobody cares about him. Nobody cares about him. Nobody actually cares. They want Phil, like you, right? You want Phil. You don't want Doody.
Exactly. I want this dude out of the way because I want to see what new people are saying. I want to see the new careers, the new up and comers. And where did this guy come from? Like, he walks around like he owns the whole sphere. It's like, nobody did.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, like, it's hard because, like,
I'm hot, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. This is the time to be hot. And that's the thing. And I won't keep you much longer. I appreciate you calling because I think your perspective is kind of closer to what I'm trying to say. But, like, to be honest, I don't even know why Phil would be too pissed off because he doesn't really have much to say, man. Like, he does talk. I will give him credit. He does talk. He does his own podcast. And he's got his little hug box of DSP detractors or whatever. But I just don't believe that people, like, actually care. I swear to God, like, if this guy tried to do his own thing, I just think it would probably be around the same level as my stuff, like, honestly.
Yeah. No, absolutely. The last thing I'd like to say, I want to get back to your show, but...
Sure.
When I watch, because I watch the detractors, I dabble in the dark side as well, But when I watch these dudes, like, I want to see them having fun. I want to see them enjoying the content. I want to see them enjoying the guy like I do.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these guys are bitter, man. They act like they hate this dude. They want to bury him. They're like celebrating when things go. He's a boring autist on the internet.
But there's money in it. There's money in it, dude. Doesn't matter how boring it is. He could sit there just staring at the camera for 3 hours and somebody would still find a way to make money off it.
Hey, man, it's all about the almighty dollar at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And
this is entertainment. This is the entertainment industry, baby. Regardless
at what point do we say, hey, people are paying for it, people want to see it, have it. I just don't want this dude in my search bar anymore, man. If you type -Doody after searching DSP, you'll get rid of 90% of his videos, but there's still like 1 or 2 that somehow he gets through because you just can't escape the guy. I love you, PDW.
Thank you, dude.
God bless you, man.
Yeah, thank you. God bless you as well. Can I get a no more abuse? No more abuse?
No more abuse.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you so much. Take care. That was an incredible dude. That's exactly the type of people I want to get perspective on. And 1 second here. Okay, this is interesting. So every time somebody writes in, I want to make sure. These aren't fake messages. These are from real fans, real victims that are coming forward. And we have, I'm not going to read the name, but he did indicate that I can read this on stream, so I will. He says, I'm also a no-ass guy. But regarding Doody, I would expect loving partner to try bring Doody back to earth from watching Phil all the time. At this point, Doody loves DSP more than DSP's wife. Oh my God, bro. That's like, get the shovel and put the casket in the ground, dude, from that guy. So great comment there. Anyway, I want to continue on with this. There's not much longer.
Least have to do 2 edits.
Yeah.
Like, at least have to
do I just start putting like movie, like Sopranos clips?
I don't know.
In the fucking video?
I know. It's the thing is, it's Jewish. It's not even about the money though. It's just about the principle of like what Doody is doing.
Give us a minute.
Just
give us a fucking minute.
Like, the thing is, like, one day, like, Doody will just get felted by somebody.
Hope so.
Like, Keemstar already put this guy to the felt for a similar issue. And
Oh,
then
it's like, well, I'm not a big name, but I'm pretty much like doing it right now. I'm probably not doing it with as much insight as some of these other guys could, but I'm just like, this guy somebody needs to stand up and talk about this guy who's not connected to this effing DSP detractor wholesome community.
he does it himself again.
Yeah.
The exact same shit, doesn't learn his fucking lesson.
Exactly, dude. A 50-year-old man who's never in 3 years, 4 years, whatever it's been, has never taken a minute to look in the mirror. And we'll see where it goes from this bombshell confrontation.
And then because we're nice and we want to felt Phil and get along with everybody, then we have to endure this disrespectful behavior from him. It's kind of unhinged. Do we do a goal to just flush the Doody live?
Like flush,
is-
as in,
is
what
it-
does that mean? What does that
just-
mean?
Every single person in chat just wants us to strike down Doody's
We're not
video.
even their fans are hot to get rid of this guy. They don't want him. I don't care because I don't watch it. I have no stake in it. Like I'm not gonna lose sleep whether really he's on or if he's off. I mean, I prefer him to be off. I prefer him to dude, take your wife out to dinner, dude. Get off the computer. Get off your phone. Take your wife out. Go for a walk. Get on your yacht. Go for a swim. But instead, the next day or whatever, he's on his Cope Fest with his DSP fans whining about it and admitting that he was wrong.
Gonna strike down, but we will claim, right?
Where's claim? It's time to claim.
Well, claim means you can keep it up, fine, but we just make all the money off of it. Do we, guys?
It's like for what though? It's like $7 or some shit. But it's like, bro, this is crazy. And all the comments, I went to it. All the comments are calling him out for it.
Well, it's like, we're like, I don't understand. Like he's monetized it. There's ads on it. And we're still live. We're still live. Like, do you want to spit on our...
TSP cries. It says, I was on the morning after live stream. The morning after live stream, huh? From Doody, it was pathetic. He's spineless. Well, what did he say? Because I'm not going to sit here and flush through all his crap. I'm not going to put my hand in the toilet and grab the piece of Doody content. But TSP cries that you should give us a little write-up. Oh, you'll download Discord? Yeah, dude, I already gave your name. These are powerful men we're dealing with. I think I might even have to take the jacket off. I'm like simmering, dude. Trent is with us tonight. A real 3-lettered. The real 3 letters, bro. 9-inch nails. So that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'd love to hear from somebody about how he reacted. Hopefully, he got a pretty serious talking to here. I mean, and still a pretty generous talking to. Honestly, they could have just said nothing and did it just for dirt, and they didn't. They're giving him a warning basically in front of a pretty big audience. I think they, I don't know, average about 3,000 to 4,000 on their streams. I did follow them. I don't watch them, but I did follow them on the Kick, so sometimes it'll pop up. And they do reasonable numbers. I'd say they probably do more than he gets on his streams anyway.
Face? A message.
Yeah, do you want to spit on our face too, Doody? Like, you fucking piece of shit. Like, come on.
Holy.
I don't even hate Doody as much as everyone does, by the way. I'm the one who's always like, guys, we're being too rough on him. But I'm like, listen, buddy, come on, fuck off.
No, I mean, if the guy was like 20 years old, honestly, if the guy was like 25 years old, that would be understandable. But the fact it's like a 50-year-old man. And even in one of his streams when I was trying to get some information for this stream, he was using that as a cope. Hey guys, listen, I'm a 50-year-old man. So I don't know. I expect that kind of behavior from like a 20-year-old, a 25-year-old who doesn't know anything about this industry.
By the way, we got Declan Does for 500 kicks. Says Doody has the audacity to go hard against Casey Tron and Denims while he's busy ripping you live. Hypocritical and an idiot. Double trouble. Whoa, buddy.
Another
the sheer hatred for Doody. Like,
he admitted it. He admitted it like multiple times. that he's 50 or close to 50 anyway. I'm pretty sure even in that clip I watched like today, he was like, guys, like, I'm 50 years old. Okay? I'm 50 years old. Yeah.
Really, honestly, Phil really should just invite Doody on to debate him. I bet you Phil would fucking felt Doody. I'm not even kidding. Like, Phil really should have just, because I had to, like, spring on every detractor week by week and have you battle them, but he wouldn't do it. Oh. He should just do it. Like, some of them, like, I think he can get the better of. For real.
They're still hot for Phil.
Super Bonchan. Remember
Incredible.
Super Bonchan?
That was pretty cool. Yeah, it was good to see that. Anyway, we do have 1 second. We're waiting for somebody with a bombshell announcement here. Yeah, somebody just sent me that Gamer Stevie J page. I've only seen a couple clips, but if you want me to cover that guy at some point, I think you just need somebody to tell him, like, dude, you don't want to, you better, no, I'm not going to discourage this young fella. I'm not going to discourage this young fella, and I'm not going to get into it tonight because we're not talking about him. We're talking about Doody. And I don't want to discourage this young fella. You know, if this is his dream, he's got 190 subscribers. But you really got to realize, dude, when you get into this career, I don't know how old he is. I'm sure he's a younger fella. I'm sure he looks like a bit of a younger fella. He's been on since 2011. But, like, I think I feel the duty in my heart to give this guy a talking to and be like, dude, you really want to give this some thought. If you love streaming, if you love this industry, if you love this career, I ain't going to stop you, brother. But, you know, from someone who's doing it, like, I'm just going to tell you, you know, give this some thought, like, before you get into it. My Discord account is locked or something. I'll type out my response and call in to a future show. Yeah, type out the response and I'll read it and I'll try to make sure I get it. Just tag me. But yeah, I'll give him a subscription and I'll give him a talking to. Oh, this is Archive. This isn't him. Oh, he's smoking weed. That's not good. Oh, this is like a clip channel. This isn't him, I don't think. I don't think this is actually him. But yeah, dude, like, I think I should. I'm not going to trash the guy. I'm not going to discourage him. But I think I should be. I feel that the duty in my heart to be like, listen, young fella, like, you want to think about this. Because if you're going to have these DSP detractors on you, dude, that's like basically like a life sentence in this industry. And I'll probably never get out of it myself, even though I'm. Like I said, I may not get away from it, but I want to be better than the things that he gave to us as people that at one point looked up to the guy, right? Okay, 1 second. I'm just looking here. We're getting some other comments here. Some people are saying don't read this online. So I'm just... Jealousy. Okay, so hold on, we got this comment here, so let's read this. So this is from TSP Cries. He says, part 1 of 2. Doody started the show with a shaky voice and saying that he really messed up. He was borderline in tears and said he uploaded the Kino video by accident. Maybe he was drunk. Maybe he had a couple drinks. Bull crap, someone says. I'm waiting for his next if someone's like, an honest mistake. Yeah, I accidentally uploaded the video. Like, that's sad. That's like an excuse like a child would use when they didn't like finish their homework level nonsense. Thank you, Frank Booth, baby. Thank you, Frank Booth. He said it to post later. Sure. Okay, here we go. So, part 2. He later went on to say he was going to go on the casino later that evening and apologize. That never happened. He was trying to get closer to the casino and was felted from the table. Yeah, that's kind of sad. To me. He accidentally titled and stuff and right was well. Okay. So here, I'm going to open it up for you guys because we just hit 2 hours. We already know the guy's a piece of crap. I think I pretty much summed it up the best I could. And I'm going to give you guys another like 10 minutes. We'll just chill because I'm going to actually be doing another stream. And I know it won't have the penises up. That's fine. I'll just be doing some gaming and some hanging out. Because when I do these streams, I don't want, if I'm talking about somebody, I think it's better to just be like, okay, I think I've said everything I wanted to say. I'm going to open it up to the people and then just leave it at that instead of stretching it out and jumping into a game on the same stream. I don't know. I was hot for a superhero game tonight. I think we need a hero. We need heroes in this world of abuse. So I don't know. I was thinking Batman Arkham Asylum, but I'm not sure. Or I'll just keep ranting and going on like a maniac. Maybe we will check out this Gamer Stevie. Whatever you guys are interested in. I mean, I don't care. I got nothing going on. I don't have a wife telling me to get off. Say sorry to Doody or get the F out. I'm never going to say sorry to him. If he's watching this and if he's butthurt over this, that's sad, bro. Because clearly you can dish it out, but you can't take it. Because like I said, that DSP detractor community is such like a hug box where everybody, you know, shakes each other's hand and says, oh, great Phil content, then there's not a lot of people that will push back and say, this is what this guy is, in my perspective. And I'm proud to be the person to do it. And I wanted to have a conversation with him at one point. And I wanted to really confront him. He didn't even reply. Because, you know, apparently I'm a drug addict. I was in a mental institution and all this stuff. So it is what it is. Freedom. The penis will stay up for the stream. Well, it's whatever you guys want. I mean, I want to play some games. But I'm kind of interested to check out this young fella. See what the hell is really going on. Where are Doody's champions? They were here earlier calling me gay. So they're out there somewhere. They probably left by now. Or they're creeping. They're creeping. They're creeping. Well, like I said, I'm just a small-time guy. Why would he be upset about this? Right? I'm not on his level. I'm not the professional with the voice. Right? So... Thank you. Yeah, I don't really give a crap. I've already thrown my life away for this thing I love, so. If the grave is a couple inches deeper, you know, that's fine with me. So let's end it off with what are your guys' thoughts on him? We'll read some of your comments. I basically talked the whole stream. I talked for about 2 hours. Took some calls. Let's see if we get any other calls, because I'd like to end this off with hearing some more perspectives. I saw that guy pee on the floor. Brother, I was peeing on the floor for Donkey Kong Country 2 back in my childhood, so. RTU is not getting ass ever? Well, hey, he has kids. At some point he did. At some point he did. Could you imagine that man grizzled and drizzling in sweat, giving it to his wife in a heat of passion? Oh, you're welcome. No problem. No problem. No problem at all. We'll just end it off, because I did have some people that said they wanted to call in, but they never did. I guess they're too afraid, and I don't blame them. You know, these are powerful men. These are petty men, and you can only do so much. So I'm not gonna force anybody to call in. Great show. Thank you, dude. RTU gets more ass than Doody. Both of them are hot for Phil. They should do a collab. They should do a collab. Doody is Phil's biggest fan. Well, pretty much. Even that guy who called in said, you know, I'm not a detractor, I'm not a hater, but I like watching the guy. RTU is trying hard to get another kid. Ew, that's gross. Well, is it gross? I don't know. Like I said, dude, a dog can give birth. A dog can father a child. Doesn't make you a father. So that's my take on it. When it comes to that aspect. But yeah, I'm probably going to stop the stream soon if we don't get any other interaction or any other calls. Because I don't want to just... I said everything I wanted to say, so I don't want to just start, like, rambling to keep it going. I think I want to keep this clear, concise, to the point, short and sweet, baby. I'll give you guys, like, another 5 to 10 minutes if you have anything to say, if you want to call in, if you want to send a message, and then I'll be stopping the stream and I'll be moving to gaming, and maybe I'll just mess around on YouTube or something as well. We'll see. Oh, good lord! That's if that is a midlife crisis, if I ever seen it. When you, oh, I'm not gonna read that. That's dirty. We don't talk like that here. There will be no insemination of any 8.5 out of 10 e-thoughts. But yeah, you know, regardless with the heat I have with the community, you know, I do give big ups to the ones that actually get out there, put themselves on the air, and try to make it entertaining, like that guy that just called in. That's what he wants. Oh my god, dude, so funny. Anyway, we'll take one more. I feel like Doody took no damage from this stream. Can we actually hold him accountable? I don't care if he took damage or not. I'm just glad that I came forward and had something to say that I think is meaningful to me. It's how I see it. It's my perspective on the guy. So I'm not like trying to shut him down. I'm not trying to like damage him. To be honest, I like, as far as I'm concerned, he shouldn't even be watching this. Like, if he has a life, if he's this big successful platform, why would this cause him any sweat off his ball sack, right? So that's fine. I don't care. iDubbbz is at new lows. That poor boy. I feel bad for him. You know why? You know why I feel bad for him? Because he reminds me of like that friend that your parents are always like, that Ian is such a sweet boy. That Ian friend of yours is such a sweet boy. So I kind of feel bad. I shouldn't be lusting after his bombshell wife. Maybe that is too far for me to be doing that. No, I don't care. I'm not making this for him to watch. I'm making it for the fans that have had enough abuse. Doesn't affect me if he watches it or not. Doesn't affect me if he talks about it or not. Because again, he's just shouting to his hug box of DSP detractors that already don't want anything to do with me anyway. So I don't really care. Like I said, dude, if I'm going to give my career, if I'm going to give my life, give my body, my sacrifice, then I have a list, dude. And like I said, I'm rolling into town, bro. And I'm going to do a stream on each of them. Next, I'm thinking of targeting Stuttering Craig, actually, in the future. And I do want to talk about this gamer Stevie guy, but I don't know too much about him. I basically just want to give him a warning. I'm sure he won't take it, but I just feel some kind of duty to check out his content and basically see what he's really doing. I've heard a lot of crazy stories about this guy. PWR, when you sacrificed yourself for Sean, you became the Heartbreak Kid. That's the thing. A lot of people don't understand because, like, with the whole wrestling thing about, like, blading or whatever, like, people like, oh, you cut yourself. I was trying to get juice, baby. I was trying to get juice like Sean. Like, I had that passion in my heart. I was like, when I was seeing Sean all covered in blood, I was like, I have to give that blood too. So I guess I'm a very impressionable person when it comes to old school wrestling. Like, when I was a kid, dude, like, I could not watch wrestling without either jumping off the couch or, doing, so. Stuttering Craig is boring after you get over the fact he looks like a ventriloquist dummy. That's funny. Well, like I said, the reason I want to cover him is because he was another part of my childhood. He was another person that kind of ends up, maybe not to the level of people like Angry Nerd and, DSP or like any of the other people I came up watching, but he did have a part in me being like, oh, you can make videos and you can make content and stuff. Like, didn't you see the don't try this at home? Yeah, that one never connected with me. I just see that as a suggestion. But yeah, so seeing what he's been through and seeing him now in this state of like complete just, and I don't know, I shouldn't say this, I'm not really political, but he is just like offensively right wing in my opinion. And I don't really consider myself right or left or whatever, but some of his comments I thought were just absolutely disgusting. So that'll be my next target in the future. So it looks like we're not getting any more calls here. So I'm probably going to leave this one where it is. I'll probably take like a short 5-10 minute break, and then we'll just come back and we'll just keep going. Because I want this to be clear and concise, like I said, so I'm going to cut it so it'll be like an upload, and then we'll just move on to a stream, doing whatever else. So penises will be down, and I don't care. Saturday night. I'm off the meds. I'm hot. I'm pissed off. You know what the funny thing is? When I'm off the meds, I actually feel more like, I don't know, my mind is like clearer. Some people just say edgy right-wing stuff to grift. Sure. Well, it's really funny because, like I said, he went from his whole thing being like, hey, like, I'm just a guy who wants to have fun and play games, to like, hey, I'm a normal man. You know, normal men don't like gay people. Normal men aren't trans. And like, so he's just like, I don't know, like offensively right-wing to me. And it's really funny. Not that I really have a stake in politics, but it's crazy. And I get it. When you get, when you get older, like, for how many years can you talk about Mario Kart, really? So I mean, good for in a way. Hey, I will give Craig credit. Good for him for at least trying to do something else as he gets up there in age. The guy's got to be what, like 42, 43, 44, around mid to mid 40s maybe. Are Doody and RTU the same person? I don't know. That one's still up for debate. Anyway, we'll cut it there. Looks like we're not getting any more reaction. Well, not reaction, interaction from the fans. I wanted to leave it open for you guys. I'll probably still take calls when I'm streaming the next stream. But I'm going to cut it here, guys. So sweet, short, and concise. I want to thank you guys. It's not easy putting yourself in the firing line, but I feel proud that I did it. And I will be firing up another stream probably in 5 to 10 minutes. And that'll be some gaming and maybe just some hanging out. And if you guys want to send me something to check out or whatever, that's cool with me. So in the meantime, be a 10-minute break or so. And then we'll be hitting the air again. Peace out, guys. Screw effing Doody.
I'm just gonna testify right now. Ooh, oh, sweet Lord, now. This has been my dream, baby. Ooh, getting on here doing this streaming thing. But let me tell you now. All my life, baby, I'm talking all my life. I've just wanted to entertain the sweet live audience. And baby, there was no father there for me to teach me the struggles of the streets. So I looked up to these dudes who did the dream that I wanted to achieve. So one day, baby, I got on my computer and I started to spread this word, started to build this brand. And then all of a sudden, baby, the numbers start to go up. And these old praying dogs start to get the penises up. Let me tell you now, they don't want this whole PWR thing. No, they don't want, baby, this PWR thing to gain traction, to build a real career, to bring the positivity, man, it only brings them fear. Oh, let me tell you. When you think you're building something, baby. And we're saying it loud, baby. No more abuse. No more abuse. No more abuse. No more abuse. Baby, I'm talking. No more abuse. No more abuse. DSP, RTU, go roll over on top of your 3 out of 10 cows. Ow! No more abuse. No more abuse. We just over here doing our own thing, baby. We trying to get used to new ways of doing this streaming thing, baby. We don't need your abuse. We don't need your small penis ruining our dream. Yeah. Damn. Now let me tell you about it, baby. When you're doing these careers and you're trying to make sweet love, not hate, baby. Sweet love with your audience.